श्री श्री राधा माधव की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, the Samam Bonam, Chapter 20, the rainy season and autumn, verse number 15. 15? 10.20.15, 1-5. गिरयो वर्षधाराभिः अन्यमानान् विवयतु अभिभूयमाना व्यवसने यथा अदोक्षज चेतस। गिरयो वर्षधाराभिः अन्यमानान् विव्यतौ अभिभूयमाना व्यसने यथा अदोक्षज चेतस। गिरयो वर्षधाराभिः अन्यमानान् विव्यतु अभिभूयमाना व्यसने यथा अदोक्षज चेतस। अन्यमानान् विव्यतु अभिभूयमाना वसने यथा अदोक्षज चेतस। वर्षधाराभिः अन्यमानान् विव्यतु विभूयमाना व्यसने अदोक्षज चेतस। माताजी। गिरयो वर्षधाराभिः अन्यमानान् विव्यतु विभूयमाना व्यसने यथा अदोक्षज चेतस। Giraya, the mountains, Varshadharabhi, by the rain-bearing clouds, Hanyamana, being struck, Na Vivyatu, did not shake, Abhibhuyamana, being attacked, Vyasane, by dangers, Yatha, as, Adokscha Chetasa, those whose minds are absorbed in the Supreme Lord. Translation and purport by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Translation: just as devotees whose minds are absorbed in the personality of Godhead remain peaceful Even when attacked by all sorts of dangers, the mountains in the rainy season were not at all disturbed by the repeated striking of the rain bearing clouds. Purport: when splashed by torrents of rain, the mountains are not shaken. Rather, they are cleansed of dirt and become resplendent and beautiful. Similarly, an advanced devotee of the Supreme Lord is not shaken from his devotional program by disturbing conditions, which instead cleansen his heart of the dust of attachment to this world. Thus, the devotee becomes beautiful and resplendent by tolerating difficult conditions. In fact, a devotee accepts all reverses in life as a mercy of Lord Krishna, realizing that all suffering is due to the sufferer's own previous misdeeds. Om Ajnantimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshu Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 20, verse number 14 and 15. So translation: where the rivers joined the ocean, it became agitated, its waves blown about by the wind. Just as the mind of an immature yogi becomes agitated because he is still tainted by lust and attached to the objects of sense gratification. Just as devotees whose minds are absorbed in the personality of Godhead remain peaceful even when attacked by all sorts of dangers, the mountains in the rainy season were not at all disturbed by the repeated striking of the rain-bearing clouds. Hare Krishna. So we are continuing to discuss this brilliant chapter of 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, wherein so beautifully the rainy season in Shri Vrindavan Dham is being described. And Shukadeva Goswami is comparing various aspects and events of the rainy season to various life experiences, especially for spiritual practitioners. And it's brilliant composition, amazing. So in these two verses, there are two aspects of the rainy season. One is when it rains, the rivers get full. the water is collected in the rivers. So all the rivers, so many rivers in the area, they flow very heavily and strongly towards the ocean. All the rivers discharge water in the ocean. So when so many rivers are gushing in the ocean gets agitated with waves. So on the surface of ocean there is some disturbance, some agitation, less calm because so many waves are there. So Shukadeva Goswami compares this agitation of the ocean due to gushing of rivers in rainy season to the agitation of the mind of a neophyte or a less advanced spiritual sadhaka or an immature yogi who appears to be calm, but in rainy season gets agitated. What rainy season? When various inputs of sense objects is received, his mind becomes agitated. When his senses come in contact with their sense objects, his mind becomes agitated. It may be coming in contact with something to eat, or it may be coming in contact with something to see, or something to hear, or contact with opposite gender, or some profit, or some opportunity to have honor, respect and fame. So for a neophyte, this creates agitation. For example, a devotee who is fond of cricket, after he joins, he stops watching cricket. But sometimes if there is an opportunity, he will find out the score in the news. Because when an event like cricket match is happening and there is a source of news, his mind will get attracted and agitated. Let me at least know kaun jeeta. I don't watch cricket. I have given up. Just find out who wins. So that's agitation. Or money, an opportunity to receive money, that's agitation. An opportunity to eat something nice, an opportunity to touch opposite gender, so that's agitation. So that's not good. It can lead to a fall down. It can lead to an accident. Just like a car and a driver who is driving the car. But if there is some instability, some agitation, some disturbance, it can lead to an accident. In the same way, the spiritual journey, the path is very narrow. It's like a sharp edge of a blade or a sword. Very narrow and very sharp. So a small accident can lead to blood loss, can lead to a wound. Just like when we shave, if we are inattentive, then we may cut and there will be a wound. So in the same way, spiritual life is like that. So in order to safeguard oneself, one should always be engaged, busy in Krishna's service, in association of devotees. If we are not busy, empty, unemployed, unoccupied, then mind will create havoc and there will be an accident and then we will regret. So it is imperative, mandatory that I should keep myself engaged in doing something or other to please Krishna, to serve devotees, to serve Shri Shri Radha Ras Bihari, something or other. If I am unengaged, then I should go and ask for service to my service authority. Please give me service. It is crime on the part of authority to not give service. It's a criminal activity. In fourth canto, Prabhupada writes, unemployment is a criminal activity of the government or the king. So some service I should keep doing for my own spiritual health. Just like some prasadam I should keep having 3 times a day for my own bodily health. So some service I should keep doing. Be busy with Krishna. Not lazy, not unoccupied. Then in that association of devotees, when we are engaged, we are protected. We safeguard ourselves. That's the safety net. Engage in the association of devotees. And in contrast, in the next verse, Shukadeva Goswami gives the example of the mountain. When many clouds assemble at the peak of the mountain and they bombard rains, heavy rains, strongly on the surface of mountain, the mountain does not shake, the mountain does not get disturbed, the mountain remains as it is. So an advanced sadhaka, an advanced spiritual practitioner, when he is bombarded with disappointments, with frustration, with miseries, with distress, with disease, with financial losses, with expectations unfulfilled, with material desires and material attachments, with emotional upheavals, with betrayal of trust and surrender, etc. So many things. He doesn't shake. He stands erect as a mountain, which means he continues to perform his devotional activities. He doesn't get disturbed. That is steadiness in bhakti. stability in bhakti. Srimati Radharani defines love as when there are all the reasons not to serve a person, still you serve. That is love. All the reasons not to serve, but still you offered service. That is love. So there are all the reasons to get discouraged. But an advanced soul, he continues to serve Krishna. Not only he continues to serve Krishna, he thanks Krishna. Thank you for the misery. Thank you for the distress. Thank you for the disappointment. Thank you for the frustration. Why does he thank Krishna? Because he likes misery? Because he likes disappointment? You will thank somebody for an object given to you only if you like that object. He doesn't like misery. He doesn't like disappointment. But still he thanks Krishna. Why? Because he knows that actually I deserve more. But Krishna reduced it. So thank you, Krishna. I deserve more misery. I deserve more pain due to my past karma. But Krishna is so merciful. He gave less. He gave very less. He gave just a token. Extremely less, 1%, less than 1%. So when I am supposed to receive 100 units of pain and I receive only 1, I should cry or be thankful? I should be thankful. Should be grateful to Krishna that I got less pain. I deserve more. Not only less pain, but in that package of pain, Krishna puts a seed of opportunity for my spiritual growth. That is amazing. If I know how to respond to pain, my every response will give me spiritual growth. That spiritual growth, for which lots of effort has to be put, tapasya has to be done, that spiritual growth I can receive very easily if I tolerate my pain. So great devotees like Arjuna, Pandavas, Parikshit Maharaj, Subhadra Maya, Gajendra, they have exemplified this. Parikshit Maharaj was cursed to die in 7 days by the bite of Takshak, the snake bird. He did not do such a big mistake that he is to be punished with death. That was not justice. What did he do? He did nothing to avoid it. He didn't go on a protest that this is injustice. He didn't counter cursed Shringi Rishi. He didn't went and patch up with Shamik Rishi. He didn't went and beg forgiveness. so that the curse is avoided. He didn't create a new fort around him so that no snake enters. He didn't kill all the snakes on that day so that Takshak also dies, which was possible. Janmajay did that. He didn't told his army and bodyguards, surround me, let the snake do not come inside. He didn't pray to Krishna for protection. He didn't do anything all this. He just left his kingdom and sat on the bank of the Ganges waiting for his death. He tolerated the situation. And because he tolerated, we received Srimad Bhagavatam. See, such a great output. That's Parikshit Maharaj. The Pandavas, for no mistake of theirs, they were humiliated, they were tortured, they were attempted to be burned, attempted to be killed, poisoned, insulted. But their bhakti was same. They never complained to Krishna, or they never stopped surrendering to Krishna, or stopped being affectionate to Krishna, or thought that Krishna is doing injustice with us. Why is he not taking care of us? They never had that thought. In fact, in first canto, Bhishma Pitama has this thought that you Pandavas are so close to Krishna, still you are undergoing such tribulations. But the Pandavas never thought in that way. They were steady in their faith and dependence on Krishna. Arjuna, he goes to Krishna and says, I want to talk about Subhadra. Subhadra is Krishna's sister and Arjuna's wife. It is a sensitive matter. So Arjuna says, my dear Krishna, Subhadra's only young son Abhimanyu died in front of you in the war of Mahabharata. And Subhadra knows that my brother is Bhagavan, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Subhadra knows that. And her only son died in front of you. And you didn't protect Abhimanyu. In spite of that, Subhadra's love for you has not reduced. Arjuna is glorifying Mother Subhadra, his wife, that even though her only son died in front of Krishna and Krishna did not protect, but still Subhadra's love didn't reduce. In an ordinary family, if a sister's young son dies in front of an ordinary brother and the brother does not help the son to take to the hospital or whatever, do you think that sister-brother relationship will continue? No, the sister will say, don't talk to me henceforth. I will not see your face. You didn't help my son when he was dying. Brother is not Bhagavan. He cannot make him alive. But still that relationship will be finished. Your brother is Bhagavan, Krishna himself, who could make alive his spiritual master's son, Sandipani Muni's son. And Subhadra knows my brother is Krishna, Bhagavan. He could do anything. But he didn't protect Abhimanyu. And Subhadra thought, Jo hua, acha hua. Whatever Krishna did is good for me. And her love didn't reduce, didn't get diluted. This is amazing. This is steadiness. That whatever happens to me is Krishna's mercy. Devotees understand that whatever reverses are happening, they are by Krishna's arrangement for me, for my spiritual growth. Krishna is perfect. He does not perform activities which are like ordinary soul's activity, full of mistakes or illusions or confusion or cheating or imperfection. No. Whatever he does is perfect. And whatever he reciprocates with me is perfect. Even for a new devotee who is not 100% surrendered, Krishna reciprocates with my surrender in such a way that my attachment to Krishna increases. It may be by fulfilling my material desire, it may be by not fulfilling my material desire. In both the cases, my dependence on Krishna will increase. For some devotees, by fulfilling material desire, his attachment to Krishna will increase, that he is so nice, he gave me this just by one prayer. And he will be attached to Krishna. And for some devotees, by not fulfilling material desire, the devotee's attachment increases, that Krishna is so nice, he knows this is not good for me, so he did not give me. Good boy. His attachment to Krishna increases. And we all see that in our life. We may be offering prayers to Radha Ras Bihari for certain products, certain material desires. I mean, of course, we chant, we recite Na Dhanam, Na Janam, Na Sundari. But there is something inside also which is getting communicated, unrecited. And for some devotees it gets fulfilled and they say Radha Ras Bihari is so merciful, and they continue their bhakti enthusiastically. And some devotees not getting fulfilled since years, but still they are here because they know kuch acha hi ho raha hai. They are continuing enthusiastically serving Radha Ras Bihari. So we have such examples and experiences that Krishna always, the bottom line of his reciprocation is increasing the attachment of the devotee who has taken his shelter. So we need to come to the platform where I am not shaken, I am not agitated, I am not disturbed when unexpected things happen, when change happen around me. That means what was yesterday is not today. A change has happened. That even disease is a change of status of the body, or financial loss is change of bank balance, or dishonor is change of exchange. So any change happens around us. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Deino yasmin yatha dehe, that when a change happens, should be dhira, sober, grave, undisturbed. But then Arjuna thinks, hey, what if I am not dhira? You cannot give an instruction to somebody, okay, be dhira. Even if he is 100% obedient, it's not his ability, right? Like somebody is 100% obedient to me and I tell him lift this 500 kg. Even if he wants, he is not able to do it. So being sober is not by obedience. It's by internal growth. So Krishna tells Arjuna to be sober. And Arjuna is asking, what if I am not sober? What if I am getting affected by change? So Krishna tells next verse, Matra Sparshas to Kaunteya. He says this change is not great, it's illusory. It's sense perception. It's just because senses are coming in contact with their objects. And there is experience of good and bad, sukha and dukkha, like summer and winter. So don't take seriously this change around you. Just tolerate it. Tolerate happiness and tolerate distress. Tolerate duality of the material world. In spiritual world there is no duality. In material world is full of duality. And the jiva in the material world, if he wants to go back to the spiritual world, he should be neutral to the duality. As soon as I start responding to the duality, I increase the duration of my stay in the material existence, including both happiness and distress. But if I tolerate duality, that means I am equal to both happiness and distress. Then I start my journey to spiritual world. Tamas titikshava bharata. Krishna says tolerate dualities. Otherwise, our stay in the material world will be prolonged. And why to do that? There is nothing interesting here. It's the cycle of birth, death, disease, old age, these material miseries, this becoming an animal or a bird or a fish or a plant or an insect or a snake or a beast or a human or a demigod or a male or a female or rich or poor, black or white. Not interesting. It's full of dukkha. It's not constitutional position. It's unnatural, artificial. So you tolerate. And Lord Brahma explains that when one tolerates miseries and continues to serve Krishna, he inherits the kingdom of God, Daya Bhak. He inherits. For inheritance, you don't need to do anything to qualify. When the father dies, the son inherits. He doesn't have to put an effort to do that. Father dies, the house is son's. Father dies, the money belongs to the son. All the paraphernalia belongs to the son. Inherits. Daya Bhak. Don't have to put an effort to receive it. Inheritance is not an achievement that I put effort and I achieve it. Inheritance is free. You just receive it. Just be a son. Just be alive. Don't die before father, that's all. So father dies, son receives. In the same way one receives Vaikuntha. In the same way, inheritance. As soon as he dies, he goes to Vaikuntha. Why and when? As he performs bhakti, tolerating dualities. So we do daily sadhana bhakti, Mangalarti, Guru Puja, Japa, class, 4 regulatory principles, service, reading, hearing. And we are living a life where there are experiences of dualities. Throw in tolerance. Start tolerating happiness and distress. Start tolerating dualities. You will inherit the kingdom of God. This is the formula given by Lord Brahma. So one should tolerate pain. From childhood and in our education, we are taught not to tolerate pain, but solve it. There's a problem, solve it. There's a pain, remove it. There's a source of distress, avoid it. Bhagavatam is not teaching this. Bhagavatam is teaching tolerate. Tolerate for spiritual growth. Trinadapi sunichena taror iva shahishuna. Tolerate like a taror. Tolerate like a tree. When the tree is cut, the branch is cut, the tree doesn't protest. But at the same point, another branch grows. So tolerance gives spiritual growth. See, that's amazing. So Bhagavatam is going to transform the way we respond to dualities. Bhagavatam is going to transform the way we live life. Bhagavatam means change in heart, change in attitude, change in behavior, change in thought process. Not same. Once we come to Krishna consciousness, we don't need to be same like other organizations, or same like other families, or same like other corporates, or same like other people. No, it's a very different game. It is for our spiritual growth. So tolerate, katikshava. And a very nice example is Gajendra in his previous life as Indradyumna Maharaj, and which I want to read that verse. We will share it on the screen also. So can you please share Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 4, verse number 11 and 12. 8.4.11.12. Got it? Okay, let me read the translation and very brilliant purport. Shukadeva Goswami continued, My dear king, after Agastya Muni had thus cursed King Indradyumna, the Muni left that place along with his disciples. Since the king was a devotee, he accepted Agastya Muni's curse as welcome because it was the desire of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, although in his next life he got the body of an elephant, because of devotional service, he remembered how to worship and offer prayers to the Lord. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, please hear very carefully. This is the unique position of a devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although the king was cursed, he welcomed the curse because a devotee is always aware that nothing can happen without the desire of the Supreme Lord. Although the king was not at fault, Agastya Muni cursed him, and when this happened, the king considered it to be due to his past misdeeds. Tatte anukampam susamikshamana. Srimad Bhagavatam 10.14.8. This is a practical example of how a devotee thinks. He regards any reverses in life as blessings of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, instead of being agitated by such reverses, he continues his activities of devotional service, and Krishna takes care of him and enables him to be promoted to the spiritual world, back to Godhead. If a devotee has to suffer the reactions of his past misdeeds, the Supreme Lord arranges for him to be given only a token of these reactions, and very soon he is freed from all the reactions of material contamination. One should therefore adhere to devotional service, and the Lord Himself will very soon see to one's promotion to the spiritual world. A devotee should not be disturbed by unfortunate circumstances, but must continue his regular program, depending on the Lord for everything. The word upadharayan, considering, is very significant in this word. This word indicates that a devotee knows what is what. He understands what is happening in material, conditional life. Okay, with this we'll end the class. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. If there are any comments or questions, you may please ask. Yes, Govind Kumar ji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
I was reading in Bhagavad Gita 14.22. If this can be put up here. So there it says, the Lord says that O son of Pandu, he who does not hate illumination, attachment and delusion when they are present or long for them when they disappear, who is unwavering and undisturbed through all these reactions of material qualities, remaining neutral and transcendental, knowing that modes alone are active. So like this, Lord gives description of how one should be transcendental to the modes. He is giving the description of what are the qualifications of one who is, or what are the symptoms of one who is above the modes. So the first line, Roji, it says that, the Sanskrit I will also read, Prakasham cha pravritim cha moham eva cha pandava na dveshti sampravritani na nivritani kangshati. So a person may be in any of the modes. His response is what? O son of Pandu, he who does not hate illumination, that means in goodness, attachment, that is passion, and delusion, that is ignorance. The Lord is telling, O son of Pandu, he who does not hate illumination, attachment and delusion when they are present, or long for them when they disappear. So like this says that we may be in ignorance also, but we do not hate it. So what is this type of, this appears to be tolerance. We do not hate or long for any of the status here, either illumination, attachment. So what is this type of tolerance? We are not hating delusion, ignorance.
See, this is talking about transcendence. This is not talking about a sadhaka experiencing dualities and responding in tolerance. This is talking about transcendence who doesn't distinguish between these two. For example, if you are on the road, you may see one car little faster from other car, and you may say this is a fast car, this is a slow car, this is better, this is not good. But if you are on the flight and there are two cars on the road with variable speed, you may not actually distinguish, because you are not on the road, you are transcendental to the road journey. So a person beyond the three modes is transcendental to the three modes. So he doesn't has two different feelings towards presence and absence of all the three modes. So if somebody is very good morally and somebody is not good morally, he sees both of them equally. So somebody is on the street violent with somebody, Another place, somebody on the street is helping somebody to eat. He sees both of them equally. He is transcendental to what is happening in the material world. You are with me? So just like children are playing, and one child wins 10 marbles, another child loses 10 marbles. What will be your response? And they are not related to you. And either you are a marble shopkeeper or whatever. What will be your response to a loss and a gain of 10 marbles? Will you cry for the child who lost it, or will you be happy for the child who received it? Equal, right? Similarly, everything is happening according to the karma. Somebody receiving some pain is according to karma, somebody receiving some respect is according to karma. This person is transcendental.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji, thank you. Actually, what triggered this question was when you said that we should, Bhagavatam teaches that we should not fight. So like when we are in the mode of ignorance, we know that I am in ignorance. So should I not fight against it? And so when we read this shloka, so that just question came.
Okay, this shloka is talking about a person in transcendent situation. When you are in ignorance, actually you don't know you are in ignorance. When you are in goodness, you will know that some ignorance is attacking me. So we should definitely come out of ignorance. But come out and go where? So first stage is we come out of ignorance to go in passion. We come out of ignorance, second stage to go in goodness. But we don't have to stop there. We have to come out of ignorance to go transcendent. Right? So this is talking about a person who is on that level. Right? Did you also say that a person in ignorance should be like this?
When we are in ignorance, we tend to fight against it. When we know that, oh, this ignorance is overpowering me, so we tend to take some step. Okay.
Yeah, so we try to come to mode of goodness. Because in mode of goodness, it's possible to transcend all the three modes. Like I go to airport to fly to US. My destination is not airport. My destination is US. But I can't go to US without going to airport. So I go to mode of goodness to go to transcendence. My destination is not mode of goodness. My destination is transcendence. But without coming to mode of goodness, I can't do that. So from mode of ignorance, we can't go to transcendence. We have to cross mode of goodness. So mode of goodness is the airport to go to transcendence. So if I am in mode of ignorance and I am understanding and being aware, then I have to overcome it. I have to overcome mode of ignorance. I have to overcome mode of passion. I have to overcome mode of goodness also. Pure goodness, that's transcendence. Then only I can hope to go back to Krishna. Okay? Yes, Hanumanji. Hanuman Prabhu.
हाँ, हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण।
तो कृष्ण के दो बहन थी, एक थी सुभद्रा, ओन सिस्टर, और दूसरी उनके बहन थी द्रौपदी, जिनका जन्म अग्निकुंड से हुआ था और कृष्ण उनको अपने बहन माने हुए थे। तो जो सुभद्रा का भी बेटा अभिमन्यु मारा गया, और प्रभु चाहे तो बचा भी सकते थे, और द्रौपदी के 5 बेटे मारे गए और प्रभु चाहे तो बचा भी सकते थे। इससे हम ये शिक्षा लेते हैं कि प्रभु की कृपा जैसी भी प्राप्त हो उसे स्वीकार करना चाहिए। बड़े बड़े महान भक्त होने पर भी कितना उन्होंने कष्ट झेला, कितनी परीक्षाएं दी थी। हरे कृष्ण।
धन्यवाद। हरे कृष्ण। ओके, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण।